Good afternoon, friends. Want to welcome you to this live Facebook Live recording of a virtual hike here at Sky Lake. My name is Jenna Ambers, and I'm coming to you a little bit late today, but wanted to be able to still share with you on this hike. It is a beautiful day, Tuesday afternoon, March 16th. We are coming to you. If you don't recognize me, right behind me here is our Chauncey Dining Hall, and I'm standing to you on the West Shore area, and at the top of the walkway, pathway that splits down through our cabin area here on the West Shore. So I thought I'd bring, hello Kristen, how are you today? Thought I would bring to you a view of this area here as we are starting to begin to transition somewhat. Yes, we still have a lot of snow here. Our warm-up last week didn't quite reach all of the areas to get rid of all of the snow. We miss you too, Kristen. We hope that you have an opportunity, along with many others, to come back this summer. One of the reasons why I chose to come see the cabins here on the West Shore. We are planning to have summer camp here, both on the East Shore for a couple of weeks and the West Shore, and we're planning how we're going to try to include all of our campers from our special needs campers to our elementary, junior high, senior high campers. And so join me on this walk today as I walk down through the path, trying not to lose my earbuds, so if I lose focus, I apologize for that. So this again is the West Shore field going through, the West Shore cabin area. And here on the right, over here through the woods, are all of our A cabins. And here on the left are the B cabins. So this path goes right down through the center. It's the kind of the highway through the West Shore. And a beautiful spot where you come down through from the upper part where Chauncey Dining Hall was, down to the building at the lower end, which is McCowan Lodge. It's our program resource spot. Some of you in your time here may have had talent shows here or done crafts in McCowan or on the porch. Might have even had a sleepover inside if it was raining and you weren't able to sleep out in the field under the stars. So I'm going to turn to look at some of the cabins. These cabins will sleep up to 7 total, with 3 bunk bed units and a twin bed. So your small group might stay in one of the cabins, and you would leave the cabin and walk up the path to the top to the bathhouse, where we have our bath facilities with showers. So you have there might be a partner with a cabin nearby or across the way and create a family group. And you would travel throughout your day with that cabin group as a small group, doing all sorts of activities from, as I mentioned, crafts to going down to the waterfront for swimming and boating time. You might have time with the director or dean of the program or a spiritual life resource person in your Bible study time. You might travel to games and activities and such. So as you see, during the springtime, we've had lots of some windstorms and rain, and just to warm up, and you see all kinds of branches and such. This time of year, the trees shed those leaf branches, and the pine cones drop, and that has created some spots around here where we may take some time to come through and do some groundwork to spruce up the area so that the branches aren't in the way. I'm going to walk this way around McCowan and see some of the spaces that are used. You can see through the trees, straight off in here, that white you see through the trees is that the lake still has ice on it. So it hasn't totally thawed. So there's still some time in the next few weeks where it will thaw, and there'll be one day where all of that ice will just kind of drop straight into the lake and the water, and the water will flow freely. I'm going to try and walk through this area here in the bee cabins, see if I can get to one of our outdoor cooking spots. I think I'm going to come back this way. There's lots of little pathways that have easy shortcuts to get from your cabin to one of the activity spaces. Each cabin has a picnic table. It creates a great space for you to sit outside and plan different activities, or just to visit with each other as you wait for others to. I love the patterns that are created by all the pine needles. Now everything just drops on its own in the spot. Some people pay lots of money to see that in wallpaper or sheets or scraps of paper. But when God has just dropped things and make its own pattern. So I'm now on the access road. Ahead of me is the area that leads to the lake trail in the lake. And I'll pan back behind me, or now in front of you is the trail that leads off and up and around and up to the west shore. So I'm going to continue to walk down here, and there's some footprints. See those two points in the ground right here? Those are the tips of the hoof prints of a deer that has made its way down this path. We have a small herd that goes all over the place. The other day I met all of them in the middle of the road, driving back and forth between the west shore and east shore. So they're out moving around, trying to find their food. Got to watch where I'm stepping because I'm trying not to trip as I try to keep recording. The challenges of doing our virtual hikes. So this area here I've come to is just below the cookout spot I was aiming to go to. So it's just up in here where you see that stump. And then over here, this is the area where our cookouts are. And one of the spots. So you come and light a fire to prepare to cook, whether it's chicken speedy, might be an all-American cookout, hamburgers and hot dogs. Might prepare a side dish of what are called ants on the log, which is celery with peanut butter and raisins on it, so they look like ants that are on the log. It's a beautiful day. I hope you can take this moment to think about your spring and what that's looking like coming soon. What are you doing in your world to brighten your day? Know that you could perhaps come and enjoy being here at Sky Lake. You could hike the trails. It's a little bit easier now that it's not as muddy, although it's coming again once we get all the snow away and it's warmer and the ground is softer. But maybe you take a chance to come and with your boots on and see Sky Lake and walk the lake trail or which all. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you're blessed with this view. Come and visit us. Come back again on Thursday as Matt does his hike somewhere on Sky Lake. May God bless your day until we see you again.